So I'm going to do a quick breakdown on the trade that I took today on EurUsd. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen really quick and get straight into it. So right here, as we can see, the past couple of weeks has been bearish on the EurUsd, and we can see the trader sentiment. We have 87% traders are going long and 13% are shorting. So essentially, we're gonna have smart money, taking the bearish positions right here. All right, so moving on the charts, we have the weekly. Actually, we have the monthly. We can see price is actually drawing to this external liquidity, right? But we also have a monthly BC right here. But on a long term, we could be looking at uh, this high as our drawn liquidity, right? So for now, we're expecting price to go to this internal liquidity is what I'm expecting. Going down to the weekly, we've been seeing, consistent push to the downside, and I'm expecting price to push inside and take this liquidity, sitting down here. So if we go on a daily time frame, we've been making, like I said, consistent push to the downside. We've broken this structure right here, and market just keeps breaking internal structure. We had a break of structure. We had a daily fair value gap right here. Price broke structure, came back, retested, inside of this daily fair value gap, closed inside of it, and then, broke down. So I'm expecting price to actually drive all the way down here to this to this external liquidity that's sitting down here. So if we go right here, we can actually see we have a fair value gap on a daily right here. So it would be interesting to see if price would trade inside of this daily fair value gap before it continues to push to the downside. So from here to here is about 40 pips, right? If we go on a 4-hour time frame, let's see what that daily fair value gap is looking like on the 4-hour. So I want to make sure this is visible on a 4-hour time frame. All right, so we have our daily CB. I'm gonna go ahead and mark it up right here. So that's our daily fair value gap. And then we go on a 4-hour to see what that daily fair value gap is looking like. So it is right above the 4-hour bearish order block. So we can expect price to actually, mitigate this daily fair value gap, right? Price could actually push inside of this 4-hour order block, wick, this daily fair value gap, right? And then continue to push down. So if we go on a 1-hour, we can see as well, we have buy side liquidity right here. We had a break of structure, price came, retested this 1-hour, fair value gap, right? So I can go ahead and turn off. I can go ahead and make this less visible, or just turn it off on the lower time frame. So we have the 4-hour. So I'm gonna go ahead and look at the 4-hour, right? And then the 1-hour. We're on the 1-hour time frame. Like I said, I'm expecting the price to actually push, you know, internal liquidity, take out this, buy side liquidity, and then we can come back and, continue to drive lower because we have sell side liquidity sitting down here that price may actually, drive into. And then on the long term, we're expecting, I'm expecting price to push inside of that monthly, fair value gap before we continue up. So essentially, I I took this trade, this morning. I I went on a 5 minutes to just look at, a break of structure. So I saw price had traded inside of this, 1-hour or 4-hour fair value gap, right? After I saw price traded inside of the 4-hour fair value gap right here, right? We had a 4-hour fair value gap. So let me hit the replay. We had that 4-hour fair value gap. We're going to 1-hour, right? As you can see, it was, internal. We had a buy side liquidity taken out. And then on the 15 minutes, we can see it clearly, right? Buy side liquidity was taken. We had a 15 minutes order block, but price actually did push further not sure what's happening. So we play this, right? We can see. So after I saw that internal break of structure, so I went on a lower time frame to actually look for the internal break of structure. So after price had broke, the levels that I was looking at, right? I marked out my first level. So price actually hadn't got there yet. So let me just play this. Right. So we had after price, retested. I started, just looking for price to break these internal structure, right? We had like, okay, we had a high, so price took out liquidity, right? And then came back. So I went on actually on a 1 minute time frame. I saw the price swept liquidity, right? And then I was waiting for a retest. So after we had a break of structure, internal, structure, I waited for a retest. So we are gonna see that retest in a little bit. So this was all right. So this was that retest. So price came to retest the 5 minute, fair value gap. So if we go in a 1 minute, you can actually see a 1 minute, as well. Price took internal liquidity, uh, actually took external, highs, intermediate, highs, and continued to push down. So this was the retest, right? So we retested at 5 minutes, fair value gap right here, and then we continue to push down. So this would have been the entry right here. So this was the entry right here. So after we had that break, then we can see how price continues to drive down, right? And then along the way, we would have opportunities to get in multiple, entries. But this was essentially, the trade that I took today and how I got in, like my thought process. But now, I'll wait. I'll be looking for price actually trade up, right? Trade back inside of this level. We could actually, see price trade, to this 4 hour, to this 1 hour order block. If not, then I'll wait and see if, this daily fair value gap would be, respected, if price would actually trade inside of it. So depending on how this candle closes for the day, so if it closes bearish, right, we could potentially have, price go take out the high and then continue to push down. So that's possible, right? Or if I drive to the lower time frame, right, we could just have price trade up to the 4 hour order block, wick, the daily fair value gap, right? Goes inside of this order block and then continue to push down. So I would have my invalidation. Um, I'll have my invalidation pretty much around this level. So if price wanted to push higher, then my invalidation would actually be right here, right at this level right here. This would be my invalidation point. So if price were to go back up to take this buy side liquidity, right, we can have price push all the way up, right? Wick, and then close inside of this level, inside of the zone, which is also our daily, right? Our daily CB. Price could trade inside of that, close inside of daily CB, and then continue to push down. So that would be my outlook for EurUsd for, for the rest of the week. I would expect lower prices and eventually price, could take out this liquidity phantom right here and then push inside of this monthly fair value gap is what I'm expecting. And then eventually we could push higher and take out these highs. So that's essentially it for today. Let's get it. Let's go.